Hello, this is Alex.
And I'm Alex, and we are Smart Alexes. Today, oh my god. Okay, today we are going to be talking about the movie Hidden Figures.
It's awesome.
Yes. Short version, 3 women, black, who make one hell of a difference. Thank you. Need a new mouth. In making the NASA program what it is. I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about the previous conversation. So
it starts out, and this really intelligent
little girl
is
just slaying in math,
just like saying things, seeing
geometry,
like all around her in the windows, and she's talking about prime numbers as she's going to school.
Yeah.
And it becomes really apparent that she's like highly intelligent. There's just no
there's no getting away from it. So her parents sign her up for advanced classes, and that's how she spent her life, like doing math. She loved numbers, and
the town fundraises to help the parents out move to another town because there wasn't an African American school that went past the 8th grade. This is in the
1940s, late 40s.
Yeah, it's got to be like
40-something, early 50s.
50s, yeah, early 50s. And it was amazing because you always hear the... I can say this, I guess. You can always hear the white people say, but slavery was abolished like 400 years ago.
What's your excuse for not...
Well, no, slavery wasn't abolished 400 years ago. 1, you're wrong. It was only a couple generations ago. And 2, it really wasn't abolished until they stopped the segregation and stopped with the school system that was shitty, and the bathrooms and the not even libraries and all the shit that went along with it.
It gives a history lesson into all of this stuff because while slavery was over...
Why are African Americans so mad?
Well, I'd like to advance myself...
Read some real history for once,
Well, and this is something I've always said. If it's hidden and you don't even know it's there, you're not going to know to look. So this girl had this natural talent. So they're scrambling to get her taught. Because...
in an era that they didn't like teaching African Americans.
Yeah.
Shit.
They didn't want to deal with uppity Negroes.
I mean, God forbid. They didn't even want you to have the good books in the library.
Yeah, and that's after she was an adult. But we digress. So, kind of. It's, so it follows her through her life, and she and 2 other women, they end up getting jobs they work in NASA.
Mm-hmm.
They are...
the computing department.
The computing department. They are the people who do the math.
That gets the rockets up in space.
Yeah, there's some
Only, this is before...
Yeah, they're not the engineers.
The first rocket in space. One of them is. But turns into one.
It's Russia.
At the time, Russia gets the first... Russia has the first man that travels around...
Orbits the Earth.
Orbits the Earth. And this is that time in that period that's happening.
So these 3 women are friends, and they do the background. They do all the background math.
All the hard math.
Yeah, that you would have done with a computer, but there was no thing called a computer back then. So they had women in the steno pool being the calculator, like crushing these numbers. The one woman and that was... Damn it, forgot her name.
Which one? The
one who ended up working with
the top scientist.
Yes.
Her name was Catherine G.
Catherine. Yeah, Catherine G.
Johnson.
She wasn't Johnson yet, though.
No.
But Catherine, she gets sent up because they need a calculator. Like, literally, that's her job title. Calculator. And
human calculator. Believe me, she is a human calculator.
And she was a human calculator. She was a boss bitch back then. So she goes to work. She goes to get a cup of coffee. People look at her. She sits down to do her work. But then all this stuff is redacted because she doesn't have the clearance. So
they were blackening out.
Yeah.
For people that didn't understand it.
Yeah. So long story short on that, she was getting pissed because she couldn't get accurate numbers to get this
She had to walk from...
Oh, no, that's before that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had... So the first thing that happens is she asks for the ladies' room. Then she finds out that there's no ladies' room for,
black
her kind of people.
So she has to go back to her old job.
So she's running buildings away. It's about, what, a mile or a mile and a half?
It's a half mile.
Half mile away with all these numbers while she's doing them as she's running, and doing them while she's on the toilet and running back.
Doing them. So, so it's, she's running at this point, and you don't realize just how far it is till one day she gets caught in the rain. And her boss is pissed. He's like, every time I look for her, she's not here.
She disappears for 40 minutes. Where do you disappear for 40 minutes at a time? Blah, blah, blah.
Now, she is soaking wet. Like, her hair is always curled up nice. She looks like she got dunked at the witch trials. And she finally snaps about having to go to the bathroom a few times a day. And how...
There's no,
just how fucked up it is. There's
nowhere no bathrooms for me, so I have to go all the way
to the West group.
To the West
is a half mile away, and she's carrying stacks of binders.
Now by this time, the guy actually likes her.
Yeah, he liked her day one.
Yeah,
because she gave a good answer.
Yes,
and she's been coming up with like these. One day when she was on that run to the bathroom, before she had left, she had gotten up on the chalkboard and did this whole... She had figured out one of the problems that they were having trouble with. Then she had to go to the bathroom. So she was gone for 40 minutes. So he liked her work. He really liked her work. And so it comes to a head in this where she's like, there's nowhere for me to go to the bathroom. And then she was so upset, she left the room.
And she talked about the coffee pot.
Yeah, the coffee pot, which he didn't realize.
Here's a white person for you. I didn't see it. He just didn't see it.
He didn't see it.
Didn't see it at all. And he goes over
But when he did...
Oh.
Go ahead. When he did...
First he goes over to the coffee pot, and he looks at it, and there's this little
teeny weeny one.
Teeny...
Wasn't plugged in.
Marked colored.
It had tape on it. It
marked
said
colored.
So...
And
he pulled the tape off.
It was shitty. And he pulled the tape off. And...
He was livid.
You can see the wheels turning. On the next scene you see, he's taking a sledgehammer to the colored bathroom sign that's up there. And he
in the other building.
And there's security there. And what are you supposed to do?
All the engineers.
He is the top.
That's
his position. What are you supposed to do? Tell the top person they can't do what the fuck they're running?
He ran everything
in the process of doing right now. He gets finished knocking this shit down in front of all these black women who were like...
And the white people on the other side.
So the white people were on one side.
Everybody.
With their eyes like, oh my god.
Everyone is looking at him
And the other
horrified.
people on the other side, the women, the calculators were going...
They're looking horrified like you're taking our bathroom.
And he says, here at NASA...
You go to the bathroom wherever you want. Preferably the one that's closest to your desk.
We all pee the same color here at NASA.
And then
and he drags the sign away. Like, he's dragging it with him.
Like nobody's putting that
no
back
one's
up.
putting this back up.
Because
I took it down.
She would go to the bathroom 3 times a day. Like, think about it. In an 8-hour, well, no, they were there longer than that. They were doing
longer.
like 8 and 10-hour days.
8-hour day, you go to the bathroom like once maybe, but they were there twice.
They're drinking coffee.
Yeah, twice.
Twice, maybe 3 times to stay up and do that.
But
so,
they have like 12-hour days.
Well, they got up to that. So, because they had hit that extended day because shit wasn't working. So, every time she has to go to the bathroom, she has to run a half mile with her work so she can do it while she's on the toilet. Then gather it up and run back. That was 40 minutes a day, 3 times a day. We'll say 3 times. That is 2 hours. That's why he did it. He needed his best minds. And
working all the time. And
he told him, call your wives.
Well, that was going forward.
Yes.
But we go forward.
So
there was a supervisor. Her name was Dorothy Vaughn, and she started thinking, like her thinking was forward. I mean, basically, she was a supervisor, but she wasn't being paid supervisor.
Yeah, she was doing the work and not getting the pay.
No title, like I don't know what. So she's been doing this for a year. So this IBM comes in. And nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows how to use it. No. And she sees an in because, in her mind, so she goes to this library and she gets kicked out of the white section. But she takes the book. And they're on the bus going home after, like, they tried to manhandle her kids, her little boys.
Yeah.
On the bus, and she's explaining
the beauty of programming.
And
she's reading.
I'm not got to that point.
Okay.
Then she takes out the book.
Yeah.
And her little boy says, "But did you steal? You can't steal something that you're paying for in taxes." And then she starts reading to her sons,
like it was a lullaby.
Yeah,
like it was a bedtime story.
Like it was a bedtime. Here, I'm gonna read you. What was that called?
I don't remember that old ass
Tran. Something Tran. It was like early old ass code.
They used the cards, and the computer was
where you
filled a room.
Where you punched the cards, and the cards made the program. It's just too old for me.
The reel to reel. It was those, but yeah, it was.
I don't remember it, but anyway, she's reading. I think it was like Voltron or whatever old.
She's reading it like it is the most wonderful
story
in the world to her sons. And they're listening.
She learns it.
Yeah,
she learns it.
She's self-taught.
She figures out how to put the thing together so it's working.
Well, she figured out. She learned the book,
and then
because she found out the machine was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because she went to talk to, I guess, her supervisor
about the supervisor position. And she asked that question.
Like, well, what's that?
So basically, all these men don't know what the fuck they're doing. Nobody does.
They didn't put it together right. They didn't even put it together right. She goes in, she's looking at it because she studied this book, and she's like, "Oh, honey,
that's in the wrong."
Literally, you're in the wrong spot. And then boop,
it goes up running.
Starts working. They can't get the cards to work, and she gets busted being in there, and she's like, "Oh, well, I was just,
And she pushes a couple numbers and
because it was the two guys.
The data starts popping out of the printer. So they asked her name. I'm Dorothy Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't figure out. Now she goes back over to and the guys are thinking, "I'll figure it out" or whatever. Well, they can't. They can't figure it out. And
the guys from IBM can't figure it out. And the big boss.
Well, then they weren't. They were from NASA. They were the NASA. They were the NASA highly intelligent. But one thing about a highly intelligent human being, sometimes they're only in their field. Yeah, because that's what they're.
That's what they're for. Like,
and so they were sitting there in another field that they were better at this field.
Computers. They were like,
So like the big boss is coming in saying like, I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you if you can't get, you can't get this. I'm not paying you. You figure this out. And he just
and then he says,
flips.
Any of you. I'm not paying any of you. And then they were all like, oh.
I'm not even getting paid.
I should have kept in my old position.
Right. So then as they're...
Well, it goes back to Dorothy Vaughan and her boss, and she gets the job offer of supervisor.
And then they end
for
up...
the IBM, and she refused it. She said, not unless I can take my girls. Who she has been tutoring behind everybody's back.
And knows this code.
She knows it. She taught it to the women who were in that room, who she was acting supervisor without the pay or title. So
then you see 30 women
walk out of the west
segregated wing.
Yes.
And into the main...
They walked a half
wing.
mile and walked in there, and those computer guys were so happy to see them. They're like, hello ladies, thank you, welcome, come on in.
Because they have no fucking clue.
They
like,
have
no clue.
Go to it.
They have no clue.
Yeah, they had none. So Dorothy saved their jobs because once they were able to figure out the IBM, they were going to be unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
She saved their jobs.
She saved all of them. And she also saved the white women's jobs.
Yep,
because they were in the bathroom, Dorothy and this white bitch of a boss.
Well, she
wasn't.
She didn't.
She was prejudiced.
She was, but I don't think it sat comfortable with her. I will give her that because of what happened later.
So they're in the bathroom, and the white woman, I don't remember her name, but the white woman actually...
She was played well, though.
She's played well. She asks about, maybe some of her ladies could come in and help with the...
Yeah, I did jump ahead.
And Dorothy says, well...
It's not my call.
It's not my call.
I'm not the supervisor.
I'm not the supervisor. No, that was the assignment that was given to her. So, in order for the white lady to save her white women from being fired, because they were also calculators,
yeah,
she got Dorothy
to be a supervisor.
Then Dorothy hired the white women.
But when she presented her with that, the next time they met, when she gave it to her, because she called her by her Miss, whatever her name was, and then she was like, "You're welcome, Miss Vaughn." She gave her that respect. She could have been an asshole.
Yeah.
And she wasn't. So it would there's so many things that got touched on in here. And then the last one. Before we get to the climax of the story. Janelle Monáe's character.
Oh,
feisty little, oh my god. She wanted to be an engineer, and she was going to be an engineer. And then they changed the rules.
Of course. And then the rules, she played Mary Jackson, and the rules stated that you had to go and take this one course.
Yeah, she had her degree.
She had her
bachelor's degree.
She had exactly what was needed. But they changed the rules to...
You have to have these other courses.
You have to... No, it's just one class.
Yeah.
At an all-white school.
Yeah.
And they figured they just have to throw that in, and she won't be able to get it. So,
but she had been bitching for days, and then Dorothy Vaughan was like, I am so sick of hearing you complain about this. Either shut up or do something about it.
Petition. Do something. So she petitioned.
Well, first she was like, I haven't really been complaining about this like that, have I? And then Catherine was like, you really have.
You really have. Just a little bit. You really
so
have.
They got to drinking, had a good time, and she did get the petition. And then she did her research. She was a pistol. Oh my goodness. She was a pistol. She researched the judge who was going to be reviewing her case.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Permission to approach the bench, Your Honor." And she did. He said, "Okay." He was like, "You were the first in your family to go to college. You were the first in your family." Like, he had done all of these firsts in his family. So he understood being the first. And then talked about the first astronaut they had from North Carolina. And she said,
"And I want to be the
first engineer.
African-American
engineer. You have the ability to be the first to let that happen."
She started talking about the first astronaut. These people will be remembered in history forever. And so she stroked his ego.
Oh, yes, she did. And he didn't desegregate the school, but he did allow her to go to the school, but only for the night classes. And she said, "Thank you, Your Honor." And she got her class and scared the shit out of her classmates and the teacher.
Like, what? She goes, "I don't see a color
in the section. Can I sit anywhere?"
Do I sit anywhere?
And sat right in the front. She was a pistol. And she graduated.
The man that talked her into trying.
He was
Jewish, Polish man
who escaped the Holocaust.
And he says, "Now I'm sitting underneath a spaceship."
Yeah.
I think we're doing the impossible. Because she's telling him it was impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. I think we're doing
He's like, impossible. "You're here." Because she wasn't even supposed to be at that point where she was.
Yeah.
And then he, a Russian Jew or Polish Jew, and he's like, "We're living the impossible." So she was like, I guess you're right.
Type of like.
And
look.
then
she started down this road and became the first
African-American woman engineer. Actually, it was the first African-American engineer, and she was a woman.
Yeah, but she was
the first
African-American woman.
Yeah. So it was,
and I don't think there were
no men. She was the first African-American, and she was a woman.
Yeah, and I don't think there were. I don't know whether
there were no black men there. Not as engineers or calculators.
But I don't think there was even any women. Like, I think she...
Yes, she was the first...
both of those out of the park.
She was the first African-American and the first woman.
Yes.
Yes.
Together and separate at the same time.
So, now, they have done this amazing thing.
And
because the IBM...
just want to touch on, all through this, you're seeing history.
Yes.
You're seeing, like, the most horrible... you're seeing Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
You're seeing... he did a speech, and he said, forgive me if I'm a little bit wrong, "It is not a struggle just for our kind, but a struggle for the soul of our nation."
No, that was about it. It was a fight for the soul of the United States. And he had a point. It's together is our strength, and that's what he was fighting for.
And that's where our strength comes from.
Diversity.
Trump, if you're watching this is where our strength comes from. This, here, uniting together.
Doing great things.
Doing great things, doing anything. Everything. Being open-minded, not being prejudiced, not looking past your differences and finding the commonality.
And taking your strengths and putting them together to make something even better.
Yeah, I mean...
Which?
You're screwing it up, man. Just saying. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So this is about Hidden Figures. I'm sorry about my soapbox. I'm sorry.
Okay, he's off the soapbox now.
Okay, I'm an activist. I've tried. Anyway, go on.
So, now that the IBM is working, they don't need calculators. So Catherine is out of a job. So she goes back to
the West Wing.
The West Wing group. The West Wing group. And she's with the women doing the cards. But they don't do the cards all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes the other group does the cards. So Catherine's calculations got the first 2 rockets up. There's a discrepancy in John Glenn's calculations because the West group did one set of numbers and then somebody else did another set of numbers on the IBM and the numbers were wrong.
Coming out
they
wrong.
Right? So they're talking to John Glenn on the phone and he was like, how about you get that woman? You know, get that woman to run the numbers. You're like, what?
I'll only go if you get the woman to do it. You know, the woman, the smart one.
Yeah.
You know.
Catherine. Somebody go get Catherine. So some dude has to go run.
With this thing of
This thing. It's like this thick.
Big.
He has to run there. Have her verify the numbers. She's doing this with a pencil and, God, calculators were as big as typewriters.
And
like this thing was huge.
You know, the old type
she's,
you know,
bling, 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 writing it down, bling, 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 writing it down, going through page, and she's like, circle. So the little feisty one who's going to be the engineer, she's
Mary
like,
Jackson.
Mary Jackson, she's like, why are you sleeping on the job? Don't you got work to do?
She goes, are you taking a break? That's what she said.
Yeah.
Are you taking a break?
She's like, grabs a book, runs out the door. So it's her and this white dude running. He's staying on the street. She starts cutting through cars through the parking lot.
Meanwhile, by the way, let's go back.
It's her half-mile run.
That route. She already knew that.
That was her half-mile run to go to the bathroom. So she runs, and they get there, and they hand over the numbers. The white dude goes in, and somebody slams the door, and Catherine is just standing there.
And you can tell, just
like,
you can tell she's like
devastated and hurt and proud of her work, but damn, so close. Just wanted to be on the other side of that door. So she starts walking back down the hall. And I'm like, please, 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 please. And her boss opened the damn door and was like, Catherine.
Starts waving a clearance badge.
He pulls out the clearance badge and he's like, come on, come on. And he gave it to her. She puts it on and she is there for his whole the 3 rotations he did. When he starts having problems, she's there to help with the math, to make sure he's safe and gets back. And she kept her job.
She kept her job.
Because
they needed
a human being to even check the numbers of a computer.
Because the computers weren't like the computers we have now. But
you still need
you still need somebody to check.
There's still everything is fallible. A person, the information coming out is only as good as what's putting in.
Yep.
It's like whatever good in, good out, shit in, shit out. You still need someone who is just that damn good to verify it once it comes out. And she was that person. She's that damn good. So and there's a bunch of other like smaller things that have happened in this movie, but it's so good to see, and it was real and just fucking awesome. So I give it 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. So yeah,
you've got to see this movie just to like.
The history,
the passion, what was going on,
the behind the
scenes about what was going on,
and the struggle,
and how amazing it was that any of those African American women were even there. Period.
Yeah,
just absolutely amazing.
Like it was a miracle they got that
put a minority together in a point in time that neither one was doing very well.
because when she walked in that, when Catherine first walked in that room, first thing somebody did was put a garbage can on her box of office supplies and notes.
This wasn't emptied last night.
Yeah.
Not to help. You know, we still go into stores and people ask my wife. Do you realize that shit still happens? By the way, if you don't know, my wife, she's interracial, and so we'll still, to this day, we'll go into a store and some ignorant white person will come up to her and assume because she's, you know, maybe the only interracial person there or the only black person, you know, that somehow, even though she doesn't have a smock or, you know, nothing signifying she works there, that she's the help. I'm so tired of that mentality.
I haven't gotten that in years. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can you help me? I can, but
I mean, prejudice is still here in the world. Still, I mean,
assumption.
Apparently,
you can't shop
Trump
here,
is the proof, and so is the KKK, that it still exists, and the only way that we can change it is all of us.
Yeah. So,
figuring out differences and not
celebrating the differences and coming together for common cause,
and not actually buying into the ignorant bullshit that may be around you. I mean, if somebody else jumps off a bridge, doesn't mean you have to. Don't be the ignorant bastard. You know,
like,
if somebody's different than you, don't be the ignorant bastard. You know?
Yeah.
Say hello. Be nice.
Say hello.
Say hello.
I was getting ready to say that, and you were like, "Say hello." I'm like,
"See,
yeah, we both agree." Say hello.
Both ends of the spectrum. We agree. Anyway. So, I hope you liked our video. I know we went off a few times, or, you know, and I know it's 32 minutes. We try. We try, really, we do. We talk too much. I swear to God, we talk too much. We'll work on keeping it shorter. Anyway, like at the bottom, subscribe. Please subscribe.
Give a suggestion.
Ring the bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. Anyway.
From the cheese factory of Alex and Alex, you have a good night or day or
have a good night. See you later. Bye.